Hey everyone, it's Dr. Glenn Vo, and I got the man himself, Kelly Schwartz, and his lovely wife Anna. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great, Glenn.
Doing great.
Thanks for having us on.
Oh man, first of all, I met just to let everyone know. I call Kelly dentistry's best kept secret. I told him that when I met him at the Dental Intel Summit, and we were talking. I got to know him, and then with the spirit of giving, I actually worked with him a lot because he worked with 3 doctors in our group. And they are just doing so good. And Kelly's so generous. And I said, Kelly, you know what? I know I've been asking a lot of you. You've been helping these docs out. But I'm going to ask you one more thing. I was like, will you just come on the Nifty Thrifty Dentist group and really just share your years of knowledge? And he said, yes. So here we are. So Kelly, let's start off with this. For those who, like I said, you are dentistry's best kept secret, one of the top consultants out there. So for those who do not know who you are, let's start with the background for the both of you guys. Let's start like, how did you get into dentistry? Then leading up to how long have you been working, consulting dentists and working with dental practices? How many dentists have you worked with? How many practices have you worked with? So let's start from the very beginning.
Okay. So I was actually in your hometown of Dallas when I first met Anna. I was working with a Fortune 500 company, Marriott Hotels and Resorts. And I was a corporate trainer. I would go into hotels that were struggling with systems. And one of the gentlemen who worked with me, who I actually trained, his brother-in-law was a dental consultant based out of Dallas and Provo, Utah. They interviewed me and they needed somebody who could put systems in place for the consulting firm itself. And so the first couple of years I worked with them learning dentistry and learning how they were interacting as a team. And I took the skill set that I had from coaching, large groups of people and being consistent. And to put it, simply, I was like Gordon Ramsay on Hell's Kitchen. I'd go in and fix hotels that were having problems, and I even had a few butcher knives thrown at me.
Well, did you have the Gordon Ramsay technique and tactic and persona while you were going in there?
I was a little nicer, but there was a lot of hiring and a lot of firing. Yes. We did a little of both. So, I found a niche in dentistry, worked with that small company for years, helped them quadruple their business. And then Anna and I were talking. I met her actually through a friend in dentistry. We met, fell in love. I could tell that story another time. But
so dentistry brought you guys together.
It really did. Yeah. I actually liked one of her good friends. And when I met Anna, love at first sight, her friend was off the board. Wow. So Anna said, hey, why don't you start your own company? And we were away on a trip in February of 92. We started talking about it and we decided to make a go of it. So we started our own company. We moved to Michigan from Dallas. We had family there and a few good friends, and we decided to make a go of it. And since then, we now work with over 750 practices in 26 states. The well-kept secret is really true because we made it a conscious effort that we were only going to work with practices we wanted to work with. We only worked word of mouth. We did 0 advertising. And to this day, other than a Facebook page, our clients come from referrals of successful clients. We do lecture at some of the prestigious dental schools. We do a lot of study club speaking, things of that nature, but it's word of mouth. We're not out blitzing or marketing or anything like that. We're just taking on, 20, 25 clients a year, every year, and getting great results with them. And we've got a couple strategic partners that we work with that have helped us, and here we are.
I love it. What I find really, really neat is that, when we were talking in Utah, the Dental Intel Summit, and you were just telling me what your philosophy was, right? You and your wife, you guys go and you're consulting, but you guys do it together, right? And you told me why that was so important. You said it's important because family is important to you. All this time is important. And you actually, that philosophy, it rubs off because I actually talked to some Nifty Thrifty members who are your clients, and they said that you really, literally, you practice what you preach. You really want that work-life balance for your clients too. So not only do you want that for them, you actually do it for yourself. So I think that's really neat that you and your wife, you guys travel together, you spend some extra days wherever you're going. I think that's so neat. And also you're very selective on who you want to work with. And that's something you preach with dentists too. You know, you told me you can't be the dentist for everybody.
Right.
And just like you said, you're not the dental consultant for everybody, and you live by that. And I think that's pretty admirable.
Yeah. When we say we've worked with 1,700, Anna and I are the group. You know, we have people we refer to for things we don't do, but we're the consultants. So when we say we've worked with 1,700 plus practices, that means Anna and I have gone into each of those offices and done the work. And, you know, we got to think from the hotel the other day, we've spent 1,807 nights in a hotel. And we've got to really love what we do to spend that much time on the road.
So Anna, I want to bring you in here. So Anna, I mean, so first of all, how long have you guys been working together and in the dental consulting business? About how many years?
So 26 years, but I did take a little bit of a hiatus because I raised two children, 24 and 20. But in the beginning, we started the company and we worked hard and strong, and then we had our daughter. And so I took a little bit of hiatus, like I said.
She took 18-year maternity leave.
and then now I'm back on the road for the last 4 or 5 years with Kelly. So
Anna, I mean, if just looking back at this whole journey here, in your wildest dreams, would you imagine you be in dentistry and just in it for this long?
Actually, yes. I have to say yes. So that was definitely the end in mind for sure.
Wow. I love it. I love it. So we got some comments from, actually Dr. Garcia just put a comment. He says, Kelly preaches it and lives by it. And yes, he's one of the ones I actually talked to. And then Andy Cleveland just said, he loves your old school way of growing your business. He does his business the same way. Do well for clients and they will take you places.
That's true. We go with the Zig Ziglar quote, help enough people get what they want, they'll help you get what you want.
I love that. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to put a little crawler here. And what it is it's just, guys, if you have any questions at all, just fire away, put it in the comments. I will put it up for Kelly and Anna to answer. But while we're doing that, Kelly, let's just dive right into it. You know, you have so much experience. You and Anna have so much experience, so much knowledge, and we're so happy to have you guys here to share that. So let's go over whenever you go into a practice, all these years of working with all these practices, what is the common mistake or what is the mistake or problem you see come up all the time? And any of you guys can answer.
I think the biggest one is everybody's looking for that magic pill, that magic thing they can do. And it comes down to something real simple, Glenn. And I know you know what it is. You just got to spin the drill. You know, doctors need to sit in the chair, communicate with their patients, and do the dentistry. I think you get thrown in so many different ways. There's so many distractions. You know, you're the CEO, you're dealing with staff, you're dealing with vendors, you're dealing with equipment, you're dealing with IT. You know, those kind of things can be distracting, and you have to set up time to deal with those things as the CEO, but you need to have that good 32 to 36 hours of spinning the drill and doing it effectively to do the dentistry. It's probably the one we see the most is doctors have a lack of focus in terms of the busyness factor. And I'm not talking about running around on roller skates or anything of that nature, but I'm talking about, you know, scheduling effectively, putting butts in the chair, and more importantly than putting butts in the chair, I was talking to one of my friends today, who I think you know real well, Dana Moss. Mm-hmm. I did a little coaching with Dana and love working with her. But I said, you know, Dana, you've heard me, seen me. What do you think it is? And she said, Kelly, the thing you taught me that I've taught my clients is you taught me how to help my doctors put the right butts in the chair. You know, we have kind of an norm way of doing things. For example, we don't believe in pre-appointing everybody. The patients who want to come in every 6 months into recall are the patients that already have done all their work. So we don't encourage you to pre-appoint a patient like Anna who doesn't need work, who will come in every 6 months like clockwork. Why pre-appoint her 6 months out and clog up your schedule when we can set a reminder? We utilize Dental Intel. We set a reminder to call her a couple weeks before she's due. And then when we have openings, she's quick to fill it because she wants to get in. So we pre-appoint patients who need work more than we do patients who don't.
You know, that is that is like
in your eyes.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm just like taking that in because that is so different from what everyone says.
Every time we talk to a hygienist, I say, all right, tell me your spiel. We do a lot of role playing in our coaching. We make sure they've got the scripts down, and I don't want them to be rehearsed or sound like, hey, this is Glenn. I want to call, we don't do that kind of thing. We work into their dialogue, their vernacular, but I'll ask a hygienist, when you've got a patient in a chair and you're thinking about reappointing, what would you say? And the hygienist will say, well, Glenn, let's go ahead and get you appointed 6 months from now. And then as the patient, you say, well, I really don't know my schedule. And the hygienist will say, well, let's get you on the books. And if you need to cancel, give us a call. Well, what did you just do? You gave them permission to cancel and create problems on the front desk. So we teach to create a follow-up and not do that. If you're healthy and don't need work, we teach you, hey, we can follow up with you. We know what time you like. We'll call you when it gets a little closer to your appointment time.
And most of those patients, I mean, it makes total sense because I have my long-term patients. I mean, it's like clockwork. They're there.
You can't keep them out. So when you call them and say, hey, I've got an opening tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Do you want to come in? Dr. Vo was thinking about you, asked me to call you personally. They're coming in.
I need to jot some notes while you do that. Anna, I want to put you on the spot too. So same question. The offices, when you and Kelly go into an office, what are some questions that are some issues you see that come up all the time when you work with a new practice? Anything different from what Kelly said?
Well, definitely the systems that that we are asked a lot about as recall systems, obviously, and protocol for a lot of dialogue with financial agreements and scheduling. And those are definitely the different systems that I have questions on.
The other big one I think we both get is, most patients don't say yes on the spot, but what the doctors or the staff hear is the patient says no. What the patient's really saying is, I'm not ready yet. When a patient comes in the office and they need a crown, and let's say a crown's $1,000, very few people make that kind of purchase decision on the spot without some sort of discussion. So really what they're saying is not yet. I got to check with my spouse. I got to check my finances. They'll say they're checking their schedule, which really means they're checking their finances, and they're going to get back with you. So having a good system, I think, is one of the things that Anna and I will do is we make sure we have a good follow-up system. When you say no, we set protocol to make sure that patient is followed up with. And again, we utilize DI. DI is a great tool that I know they're partners with you that we use to follow up with our systems. We also bring those patients' names that didn't schedule to tomorrow's morning huddle, and we say, hey, who did we see yesterday that didn't schedule? And do we want to follow up with them? And if so, what is that sequence going to be? And we help set those types of sequences. But I think Anna and I would both agree that systems and dialogue are probably two of the biggest shortcomings that teams have. And you need to be, not a one-size-fit-all, but you need to work with the teams individually. And again, it's part of creating that culture with your team to where they buy into and they're using dialogue that they are comfortable with.
Sure.
And so we work on things like, what do you say when you're making a phone call and you finally get a hold of somebody? What do you say when a patient goes to cancel on the phone? What do you say when a patient has broken 3 or 4 appointments or has money objectives, objections? So we work with all those different things in different ways, and every office is a little different. It's if you're a practice with 1,000 patients overdue, you can make different decisions than a practice that has 200 patients overdue on dismissing, and I call it loving them out of the practice. And I think if you want to give your team a fun benefit, including yourself, every year on their birthday, they should be able to put up one patient they want to dismiss. So the team has to vote on it, but dismiss that patient.
I love that. I love that. And I'll admit, and I'll say it right now. You know, there was a movie recently. There was actually a series of movies called The Purge, right? And so in that movie, you know, the government picks one day where you just basically can kill each other. So every year we do this thing called the Purge of my practice. I literally do that. I go around to my team. It's normally we do a annual kickoff meeting. I got that idea from Dr. Robert Pick. So Robert, if you're watching, shout out to you. We do like a retreat, like a kickoff meeting, and I say, hey, we got to purge some people. Who's your number one person? And that's what we do.
If they are bad at paying, treat the staff poorly, never do the work, and then they're demanding on the times, you know, that's a great candidate to love out of the practice.
I love that. I love that. Is being a non-participating provider office still a viable practice model today? So out of network provider.
It really depends on your patient base. You know, we take a look and analyze what your practice base is. How many people do you have that are overdue? And then from there, we try to flush out as best we can. What is your worst paying, you know, insurance companies, if you will, or networks that you're in, and let's look at where we can trim. And, you know, down here in the South, we have a plant called kudzu. You familiar with it? When you're driving in the South, there's this like weed, and almost like an ivy, and it just wraps around the trees and plants, and it smothers literally these healthy plants and trees searching for greenery. And so when you're driving down to like Atlanta, it looks like you're going through, you know, the jungles, if you will. But, you know, your practice, some of your patients in some of these networks that are only in it because you're a network, not committed to you, smother out those good patients you could otherwise see. So yes, I believe it's very possible to be non-participating. Now, if you've got a lot of downtime and empty chair time, I would rather do something for a little less than do nothing at all over pride. So you have to find that balance. And not every practice, you know, has 2,000 patients getting 100 new patients per month. And if you're one of those, you know, great for you. And then you can decide that. But, you know, it's about being productive. We've got offices that are, you know, 20, 30% Medicaid that are still very, very profitable. And we've got offices that are very boutique that don't play the insurance game that are very profitable as well. It's just different styles. And one of the things that Anna and I pride ourselves on is there's no one size fits all.
And that's what I actually want to go into there. I'll leave this question up. I mean, obviously you work with different practices, different types of doctors, different types of skill sets and whatnot. Right. So when you go in there, you're not really trying to change the way they practice, right? You're just trying to optimize their systems.
Right. So we don't get involved clinically whatsoever. You can talk to any of our 700 doctors and they'll never tell you we told them to sell dentistry, if you will. What we do is we evaluate their systems, find out what their philosophy is, and then we adapt to it and help them make better choices in the way they do things. You know, where are the, you know, here are 5 things you're doing right, but here's 2 things or 3 things you should be doing better. And, you know, one of the bigger mistakes that a lot of people calling us think is, you know, we work with primarily really good doctors doing really big numbers, wanting to do better. The doctors that are somewhat struggling are seldom the doctors that call us. We work with doctors that are already doing well. They may have worked with 2 or 3 other coaches in the past, and they're looking to go to that next level.
I love that. I love that. So let's just keep going here. So obviously, you know, we talked about, you know, the metrics. We just talked about that. We talked about using the right scripts. But I want to go back to something you said in the beginning that just made my eyes get really big. And that is the pre-appointment. Okay, let's go over that again, because actually the more I sit here and think about it, it makes total sense. Because you know what happens? We get our schedule you know, clogged up, and then you're like telling new patients, oh, you know what, it's going to be like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Those are the ones that have all the treatment that needs to, you know. So let's go over that again. So for those who are wondering why I'm getting all excited about this, it's like a shift in mindset when we talk about pre-appointment. So Kelly, if you don't mind, let's go over that one more time for the people who are just jumping on. Kelly, let's go over that. Let's go over that pre-appointment philosophy again.
And you brought up an interesting point I want to throw out there too, Glenn. One of the things, when offices spend money or invest money on, website, SEO, marketing, whatever they're doing to get new patients in the door, you got to make sure you have the capacity to it. So when that phone rings, you have got to have an opening within 8 working days to get me scheduled, or I'm not coming in. If I call your office because I got motivated to call, I'm only motivated for a short period of time. And if I call and your front desk says, I can't get you in for almost a month, how quickly do you think you lose motivation? So I'm going to call another office. And if I can get in sooner, I won't even call back to see you.
Yeah.
And old school thinking was, well, schedule your new patients in the middle of the day because they cancel. Well, no heck. I mean, they're going to cancel when you give them the middle of the day. They want first or last appointment. So we make new patients a priority. Now, backpedaling to capacity. First thing you have to know before you start weeding patients out and pre-appointing is, what is the capacity for one hygienist working 16 days a month for 6 months? Well, it's 768 one-hour openings. So if you do the math, if you've got 2 hygienists, you have roughly 1,500 appointments available. If you've got 2,500 patients and only 2 hygienists, you don't have 2,500 patients in hygiene. So you've got some room to pick and choose. So when I look at the fact that you've got 500, 600, 700 patients overdue, then I'm not pre-appointing everybody who's already healthy. So when you're sitting in the chair, you come in every 6 months for 3 years. You got to have a 3 o'clock appointment or you're going somewhere else. You don't need any work. You haven't referred any friends. Mr. Vo, I'd be glad to give you that 3 o'clock. Let's go ahead and put a reminder to call you in 5 months to give you that 6-month appointment. And so I won't pre-appoint everybody. When I'm looking at, and again, Dental Intel is a tool, but when I look on my pie chart in Dental Intel, and I train all my staff to do this, we go to the 0 to 6, the 6 to 9, the 9 to 12, and we sort by the biggest treatment plans. So when we have that opening in the next week or two, we're trying to fill it with patients that fit what we're looking for, just versus somebody who just wants an appointment. Now, Glenn, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Anna's going to come in as a new patient. You've never met her. Or you're going to get me, who's come in every 6 months, haven't referred anyone in 2 years, and I don't need any work. Would you rather have downtime and hope Anna comes in, or me on the books knowing I'll be there?
Well, based on what you just told me?
Well, put your business hat on. What am I going to be good for? How much?
Well, I mean, you've been coming in and what, like a pro fee and
every 6 months. That's it. I'm good for about 300, 400 a year. No referrals.
Now this is Anna with the 3 kids, right?
It's any Anna. So why is a new patient calling you? One, they're motivated. Chances are they may have a problem. Chances are they just got insurance. They want to get those problems taken care of, or fill in the blank. But the opportunity with the new patient is much greater than a patient who's already established themselves. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying I won't come to you. I'm saying call me when it gets a little bit closer and say, Mr. Vo, we talked to you 6 months ago. We promised we'd give you a call. Dr. Schwartz asked me to call you. We've got a 3 o'clock in 2 weeks, or we've got a 2 o'clock. Would that work for you? The doctor wanted to make sure I followed up with you. And Anna, because I'm a great patient who just haven't done anything, I will come in at the drop of a hat because I care about my teeth.
Yeah. And also we already have that relationship.
Right.
So you're like, okay, yeah, sure, I will. I love that. Yeah. You know what? Dr. Danny loves it too. He just says, this makes me realize how much hygiene scheduling we're doing wrong. And yes, Danny, I have to agree. It's kind of mind-blowing. Okay, so Kelly, we got a bunch of questions. You obviously stir their hornet's nest there.
I want to knock the hornet's nest right down. Let's fix it.
Okay, so here we go. So this doctor wants to know, what's the best way to love a patient out of the practice? Anna, you want to take this one? What's the best way to love a patient out of the practice? I guess they have a few patients they want to love out of the practice.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm gonna jump in because Anna's the brains behind it. I've always been the mouthpiece, if you know her. She's the good-looking one. Smarter too. She just whispers in my ear. So when I love somebody out of the practice, usually it's because they've broken a lot of appointments, been rude to the staff, pick your hit list of why you don't want them there. But it's just real simple. Mr. Vo, we've been friends for a long time. I appreciate you coming here. You haven't done the work. You've broken appointments, whatever the list may be. I feel it might be better if we let you go to another practice and that will take care of you the way you want to be taken care of, because I just don't feel we're the right fit. And I'd rather lose you as a patient than lose you as a friend. So let me know where I can send your chart.
I'd rather lose you as a patient than
lose you as a friend. We'll find a dentist for you, that will allow you to not do the pro fee or do the x-rays, or that allow you to not do the scaling and root planing, or that allow you to break all your appointments without a problem. We just need patients that are committed. And I love you as a person, but I just don't think we're right for each other.
I love that.
You and I talked about that in Utah.
It's almost like it's not you, it's me,
Yeah, it's gonna break up. Yeah, it's not you, it's me.
I love it.
I don't mind letting them know it's them, because if they'll change their behavior,
then that's
okay too. So, I've had doctors tell me that when they say to the patient, Glenn, if you don't want to do scaling root planing, that's fine. I just can't see you as a patient. And the patient says, you mean to tell me if I don't do this, you won't see me? And the doctor has the courage to say yes. The patient says, well, then you must believe it. Let's do it. Same thing with an extraction versus saving the tooth. Clinically, there are teeth you can save, and there's teeth you can't, you need to extract. But, you're in the business of saving teeth. So, Glenn, if you just want to pull your tooth, I understand. Some people do that. I'm just in the saving teeth business. And honestly, I don't want you running around town telling them I'm your dentist with no teeth in your mouth. So let me send you elsewhere,
I mean, here's the crazy part too, Glenn, is that a lot of those patients that you let them out of the practice, they boomerang right back.
Yeah.
They come right back around, because
good point.
They do realize they go to the grass is greener on the other side, but that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah,
so.
People are like boomerangs. The harder you throw them out, the faster they come back.
I'll have to keep that in mind with some of these patients.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got some more questions coming in here. So this is from Dr. Naba, and he says that his dental intel consultant told him that the #1 metric tied to a successful practice is a pre-appointment rate. So what is your impression of that?
Every coach and every company, including Dental Intel, and they're some of my best friends, and I argue with them all the time. I don't think pre-appointment rate is the best metric. I think case acceptance is better. Yeah, because we've got the tools with Dental Intel to get everybody back. So I'd rather set a reminder to call you for an appointment that you would keep than to give you an appointment that I hope you would keep. But again, it's not that they're right or I'm right. It's just different philosophies. But I pay more attention to case acceptance rates and dollars scheduled, dollars presented, that type of thing. But, you do want to have pre-appointed. But to be honest, what's more important, a full schedule or a productive schedule? So long as tomorrow is always productive every day, I don't need to be booked 3 weeks out. I just need to be booked productive and at goal tomorrow. So as long as I'm doing that, and I've got the tools in front of me to pull and give my staff, pulls the tools with Patient Finder to find operative work, or the tools of Recare with the pie chart that for overdue profis, I've got the tools to keep my teams in offices booked at or above goal most days.
So with that being said, there's someone who's all for what you're talking about. And this doctor says, Kelly showed us to keep open appointments for new patients. We now block hygiene schedule for new patients, not pre-appointments with no treatment required. This leaves more time for new patients.
Who is that? Can you tell them?
I'll have to see here.
That's all right. Well, thank you. And I'm glad they're listening.
We have a comment here. And that is, so new patients are the best ambassadors for the practice. Established patients are too comfortable to refer friends and family. How do you feel about that?
How can I be an ambassador for your practice if I've just met you? Going from first date to chosen mate takes time and sharing, right?
I mean, not everyone can be like you, Kelly, where you see.
So, I believe my existing patients and learning to ask for referrals, it's one of the things we cover in the morning huddle. Who did we ask and what did they say? We hold the team accountable. So, let's say you've been with me for a while. I'm going to say, Dr. Vo, I don't know that I've ever given you a chance to tell your friends, family, or coworkers about us. you know, is there any chance you would tell some of your friends about us? And, you know, when you say you don't know anybody, I'm going to say, come on, Glenn, you have nobody in your family. You don't work with anyone. You don't live next to anyone. Are you out in the field on 50 acres? I mean, come on, you got to know somebody. And so, Glenn, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you an extra goodie bag with some toothbrush, floss, and so forth. Give them to one of your friends and tell them what a great experience you had at the office. Don't go home and give it to your family member. Give it to somebody you know.
That is gold right there.
We think so.
I almost want to just get up and give a toothbrush to somebody out here.
I mean, think about it. You know, I work with
in a very just like, you know, you said it in a very caring way, but it was kind of funny too. And it's not like it meant so much more than, oh, if you have a family member, we like just like you, can you send more people? And just leaving it like that. You're actually so persistent there. But
you asked earlier about scripts, and this is the philosophy and the culture we try to treat within the team. I'm not saying say this exactly. I'm saying, guys, come on, understand, be sincere. You've known this patient for 3 years. Have you ever asked them for a referral? So when I'm done taking great care of you, you're not going to refer because I'm giving you some incentive. You're going to refer because I made enough deposits in your emotional bank account. I took care of you. I treated you friendly. I asked about your family and friends and how work's going. And I built that relationship with you. And then as a friend, I just simply say, you know, Glenn, I don't know if they've even given you a chance to refer. I know you think we're busy, and we are, but it's through patients like you. And matter of fact, if one of your friends come in, I got a few I could fire. So, you know, come on in and tell them to call.
I love it, guys. I hope you guys are taking notes, man. This is like some gold stuff. All right. Wow. Okay. All right. So so we have a doctor here. He's giving you a scenario. Okay. This guy's an overachiever. He's not asking. He's giving you a scenario. So let me give you the scenario. Okay. All right. Every Friday, I leave with a full Monday hygiene schedule. And by 11 a.m. on Monday, half the people call to reschedule. We even instituted a $50 reschedule fee, and it has made no difference.
Yeah, you just piss some people off.
And what is causing that?
So when I schedule my Monday morning appointments, we try to teach to schedule our gold star. So when you're in on a Monday, I'm going to say, Mr. Vo, you know, Monday mornings are our most desired time. And because you're here at 9 a.m. on a Monday, I know I can count on you. If I give you a Monday in 6 months, can I count on you to be there? So when I have my Monday 9 to noon type patients, I make sure whenever we appoint them, we let them know that they're lucky to get that time. So Glenn, I'm going to go ahead and give you a Monday, but we only give our Monday to our patients we know we can count on. Can I count on you? If not, let's give you a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Because you know we don't work on the weekends. We're not going to call you. You're going to get a text or an email. But I need to know I can count on you before noon. Can I do that? And if you say yes, you get the appointment. If not, you get a different day. The other is you got to look at your non-working versus your working. You know, it's best to schedule some of your parents that are stay-at-home parent types that aren't in the profession, depending on where you're at. But create a sense of, hey, you're lucky to get this time, and we want to give it to you, but we got to be able to count on you to give you that. I don't like to schedule new patients before, 3 o'clock on a Monday for that very reason. I'll do Tuesday mornings, Wednesday mornings, Thursday mornings, etc., but I won't do Monday before noon for new patients.
Mm. That's good. I don't work Mondays anymore.
Yeah, I think had something.
I mean, also if you do have dental intel, you can look at those statistics and see
the quick stats
and quick stats that where they've shown up, and what their statistics are if they show up at 9 o'clock or they have a cancellation or no show history.
Yeah. So on your tab, if you happen to be on DI. You've got your facts and then you got your quick stats. So I like to take a quick look at the quick stats, and if they've got a great track record and they haven't broken an appointment in a while, they could go into a Monday. But that's how I would handle it.
I love it. All right, so we got some more questions. Actually, before we go into the next question, we have a client of yours. And he just said, Kelly and Anna are phenomenal. They taught us that the handoff from hygienist.
That's Jerry Heck.
And to the patient. Need for treatment, and go Bucks. He must be from Milwaukee,
Ohio. Yeah, that's probably Jerry Heck. He's a troublemaker. You can't ever trust somebody from Ohio.
James Finley.
Oh, even worse. Hi, James. James has a great practice in South Carolina, and he's done a great job. We really appreciate his support.
I love it. Okay, so our resident oral surgeon, obviously you've really impressed him because he's still hanging around. He's still asking questions. So he's asking,
Great.
As a specialist, I'm always wondering, what can I do to please those referrals?
To please the referrals.
Is it the referrals, the actual patient that comes to your practice, or maybe it's a referring doctor? I think it's a referring doctor, because if it's the referring patient, the patient that was referred, you just take good care of them, right? That's the best way to please them, right? So I'm thinking of a referring doctor.
So, there's a lot of different ways with our specialists, but we keep track, or we encourage that you keep track. Who are your referral sources and exactly how many are you getting from those doctors? And so I might invite you out to lunch and say, Dr. Vo, I want to tell you I appreciate you. And do you know how many people you've sent my way? Well, my records show you've sent 20. But Dr. Vo, do you know how many I've referred back? I've referred 3 or 4. I'm not in the business where I can always refer back, but whenever I do, here's what I do. The other thing, if the doctor's talking about referrals, is a lot of times when we work with specialists like oral surgeons, Anna and I will come in and do a speaking event to the GPs that refer to them as a thank you, of a way to help them grow their practice in exchange for turning around and referring to me. But if you think about it, why do people refer? Well, because you're taking great care of them, or you're taking great care of the people that referred them to me. So if you're sending patients my direction as an oral surgeon, I got to make sure I'm taking care of your patients and I'm following up with you. If it's the patient, it all starts with friendly, polite, courteous staff. It costs you nothing to be friendly, polite, courteous, but it costs you everything if your staff are grumpy, frumpy, and don't want to be there. So it starts with attitude. That saying, attitude determines your altitude. I say it all the time. And so if your team attitude sucks, well, the patient experience is going to suck. And doctors, unfortunately, you set the tone. So you come in a bad mood, I would come up with my arm around you and say, Glenn, I'm glad you're in a bad mood. Now I can be too, because that's what you're going to do to me and the rest of the team.
I love that. That's a great quote right there. Great idea also. And for our resident oral surgeons asking questions, I'll tell you what I like. Just keep sending food my way. All right, my team.
Food and chocolate. And forget sending it to the doctor. Send it to the staff, because the staff are the ones that do the referring.
I love it. Okay, so we have another question here. And man, I cannot believe time is flying here. But let me try to get these questions in, so I don't want anyone to feel like they're left out. Okay, sure. What do you think about an in-office savings program? And what if you start a program for patients without insurance? I'm concerned it would reduce income from excellent fee-for-service patients.
Yeah, it's a big hot topic out there. I'm a big fan of having options like an in-office savings program, but you're not doing it necessarily to take away money. You're actually, how I look at it is, it's marketing dollars well spent. Because when you sign a patient on for an in-office plan, you're guaranteeing at least 2 visits for a cleaning, and they're going to do their work with you that they might not otherwise do. So I'm a big fan of the in-house savings plan. I think it's a necessity today. And I don't, you don't want to price yourself in a way that gets you in trouble. And matter of fact, legally, you want to make sure that you're a couple dollars higher than your least reimbursing program, so you don't get in trouble. Make sure you're familiar with your state laws, but most states are relatively friendly until you get out to the West Coast. Some of them aren't so nice. But I'm a big fan of it. And I would rather have a little less money but keep you along for a long term than to lose you altogether because I can't work with you.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so I cannot believe, so guys, I want you guys to know that when I got Kelly and Anna to jump on and do this Facebook Live, they were asking me, it's like, well, how long is this going to take? It's like, it's like 30 minutes. Don't worry about it. Really quick. Well, guys, it's almost an hour now. So you know what? I'm so appreciative, and thank you so much, Kelly and Anna, for all your knowledge.
Yeah.
And you know what, though? Guys, for those who are watching, if you feel that you got some good value, please type into the comments, may the Schwartz be with you. May the Schwartz be with you. And for those who are old as me, you'll know what movie. Hey, bonus points if you can also type in the comments what movie this came from, But type in, if you enjoyed everything and got some really good pearls, type in the comments, may the Schwartz be with you. All right.
Yeah, put that on our Facebook page as well, Schwartz Consulting.
There you go. There you go. And if you run into Kelly somewhere, just say that, may the Schwartz be with you. He'll understand what you're talking about. Okay, Kelly. So look, you're obviously everyone's really excited. I'm looking at all the viewers. So many people are watching here, and they're probably thinking, you know what? I want to work with. Hey, there we go. Hey, someone got Spaceballs right. I'm super proud of them. Yeah, we got a few. May the Schwartz be with you. Okay, so guys, you're probably wondering, okay, how do you work with Kelly, right? I mean, you like Kelly, you like Anna's style, you like what you're hearing, but you know what? I'm going to take it one step further. Kelly, you are in the Nifty Thrifty Dentist Facebook group, and I'm all about deals. And you watch a bunch of my. There you go. And so for the doctors that want to work with you, so first of all, let's do this. Okay, so you do consulting. You also have an event, because I actually work with Dana as well, and I remember one of her first speaking gigs was actually at your event. She was so excited. I'll just say it now. She was super excited. In my office, she was working on. She's actually renegotiating. She actually renegotiated a lot of my PPO plans, and really, I mean, she's probably a big part of my production this year. Just adjusting my fees. I was actually, my fees were way too low. But anyway, she's super excited. We know that you do an event. We know that you do consulting. We know that you do shorter consulting. So before I even gouge you for a Nifty Thrifty deal, talk about what exactly you guys do.
All right. We have a couple different ways, because we don't believe one size fits all, and not everybody needs everything. So we have a short program where we do a practice snapshot. We get on the phone with you. It takes about an hour and a half. And we go through what the potential of your practice is. Then we discuss which might be best for you. So our lightest program, kind of an introductory get to know us, is we come in for 2 days. We train your team on some basic systems to utilize dental intel and how to really make that work, sort of a dental intel expertise. The guys over at DI are awesome at training, but you are sitting at a computer and you're getting trained kind of from afar. We're a big believer in boots on the ground. So we come into your office and we do a 2-day light program, we call it. Another program we offer is we do for clients that have been with us for quite a while, and sometimes new clients that really have it together. We have a CEO program where we meet twice a year with just the doctors and once to twice a year with the staff, depending on the needs, where we're going over all what does it take to be CEO and to run your business, strengths, weaknesses, systems, reviews, all those types of things, profit and loss, so forth. That's our second level, if you will. And then we have our full coaching program, where we take a look at your data and we divide or decide on the systems that we feel will help your practice best. Recall, scheduling, financial presentation, follow up on delayed treatment, goal setting, accountability, the whole works of practice management. And that's our full coaching program, which 95% of our clients opt for. So, you can have one thing on the buffet, or you can have everything on the buffet, and we work with you based on your needs. And every now and then we do an evaluation and we find that you're really doing well, and we just can't help you, but we'll be here to support you. So that's what we do.
Love it. So with that being said, I'm sure you guys are wondering, okay, we love it. We can see where you can help us. What about a Nifty deal? What can you guys do for Nifty Thrifty Dentists? Let me just put this crawler up so that I can just put you on the spot in front of all these people. We got the Nifty deal alert going across. So Kelly, someone wants to work with you in Nifty Thrifty Dentists. What can you do?
If they want to do our short program for the 2 days, first thing to do is reach out to us, and we'll set up to do a snapshot with our DI partners. If they already have DI, we just need to have access to look at your potential. Then we could do a 2-day program that's normally $6,000. We'll take $1,000 off. So pretty good deal there.
But I want to let you know that even DI has a Nifty deal. Just want to let you know that.
Yep.
Just to let you know.
And if we're already with DI, we'll work. You'll work with them and you'll work with us, and we work together. But we'll still give them $1,000 off if they're already with DI. Matter of fact, if they
what if we have an overachiever and he says 2-day coaching? I don't want that. I want the whole buffet. I want the whole coaching program. What if they want that?
Every practice is a little bit different on their fee, but we will take $3,500 off our full fee program.
Wow.
Customized for them. That's a pretty significant discount.
I'm sure Anna's not going to strangle you right now.
That's why I look back, because I'm like waiting for her to hit me, because I think we talked about 25 and I was feeling a little generous. So, we'll make it work with them. And so if the discount isn't what they need and they need like a longer term payment plan, we won't let money be a reason we can't work together. So we'll take care of the doctors, and they're going to get a great return on their investment.
Wow. So we're going to put those deals in the comments later. I'm going to get it from Kelly. We're going to put that in there. We're also going to put his information as well. But before we leave, I know you do an event. I'm not sure how many times you do it, but is that open to coaching clients? Is that open to the public, or how does that work? And when is the next event?
We are working on locking down the date. We do a once-a-year CEO program. We have about 40 doctors from all over the country that fly in. We do one day with their front desk and doctor, and then the next day is with the doctors only. And we bring in a couple speakers. Dana Moss as an example. Last year we had Weston was scheduled, but he had bronchitis with dental intel. We had Chris Toyne, who was awesome, came in and presented to all of our clients, because all of them are on dental intel. And so it is open to other doctors as well who would like to attend and get to know what we're all about. We have a small fee for that. It's a few $100 to attend if they're not a client, but we do it annually for our existing clients at no charge. It's just our way of saying thank you for them for staying with us.
I love it. Now, you said 40. Is it always capped there? I mean, because you know what? You just let the cat out of the bag of my group. And have a whole bunch of people.
We can always get a bigger venue, so that's not a problem. We'd probably cap it at the first. We'd probably cap it at the first 100.
And this is in Charlotte, right?
We've been doing it in Charlotte. We're thinking about doing it in a Michigan location next year, just for something different. But we're also willing to come to Dallas for you, Glenn. So if you want us to do it for all your Nifty,
tell you what, I'm pretty sure I can get a bunch of Texans to fill up that room. So I'll definitely take you up on that. But that's the Nifty Thrifty deal, guys. Kelly, Anna, thank you so much for joining. And we appreciate everything you've done for our community.
We really appreciate it. You got a great group. We follow it quite a bit. You got some great experts on there. You got a great team, and we're proud to be part of working with you. So thank you very much.
I love it. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.